Beginning of 30 minutes, grade 12 trace 2 on the 23rd of July. June. Yeah.
Okay. All right, are we focused? Are we listening? So you happy about that one? Okay. So what is the genotype of the male? So the male is, you don't say heterozygous. Okay. So the male is, and you don't say homozygous either. So it would be white-eyed male. Genotype of the female, homozygous red-eyed female. How many genotypes are possible in the offspring? 2. Doesn't ask you what they are. So you just say 2. That's all they asked you. 2 different genotypes. How many phenotypes are possible in the offspring? Because this is sex-linked, you need to say 2. Because it would be female red-eyed and male red-eyed. Even though the eye color is exactly the same, male and female are an issue here. You need to say both of those. So what is the probability of getting offspring that are red-eyed males? 50% chance. Okay. What is the probability of getting offspring that are white-eyed males? 0. That's not asking you for the actual cross. Okay. Oh, it does here. Sorry. It says cross a homozygous to of that to that. Okay. So you need to do the cross.
What happens if a fly cheats on a fly?
I don't think they care.
They're going to die.
Okay. You do know that fruit flies are the little tiny ones, hey?
Rookies.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
What is the probability of getting offspring that are red-eyed females? 50% chance. And what is the probability of getting offspring that are white-eyed females? 0 chance. Okay. All right. I expect you to do number 7 and number 8 of this for homework. For tomorrow. Yeah. Alright, going. Alright, so we're now going to go on to a way of showing genetic crosses where it's a same thing but a different way of showing it. Okay, and this way of showing it is called genetic pedigrees. Okay, now genetic pedigrees use symbols like you see there. There. Okay, can you see? But now I'm going to draw on the board. Okay, so it goes like this. Circles always represent females. Squares always represent males. Okay? Generally speaking, if there is a condition then the circle or square is shaded in. Okay? You happy? They don't ever show gametes here, you have to work them out. So let's say, for example, here, it says to you, Marfan's syndrome is a rare inherited disease caused by a dominant gene. It affects the eyes, the heart, and the skeleton. The family tree or pedigree below shows the inheritance of this gene in a family. The grandfather, who's individual 1, is a homozygous normal male. Okay. Does it say anything about sex linked?
No.
And so,
It's nothing to do with sex.
it's got nothing to do with sex linkage. Okay. All right, you're happy with that? So, the grandfather, who's individual 1, is a homozygous normal male, and it tells you that it's caused by a dominant gene. So, the symbols you would use in these problems is capital M represents Marfan syndrome, and lowercase m represents normal for Marfan syndrome. Okay, you happy? So, it tells you that the grandfather, individual 1, is homozygous normal. Okay, so little m, little m. Okay with that? It tells you that the mother has Marfan syndrome. So you know she's big M. How can you tell whether she's big M, little m, or big M, big M?
The children.
Just wait. Just allow the rest of you to work it out.
Sorry, must you repeat that question?
Okay.
That's thank you.
So I said to you, that mother, individual 2,
Yes.
could be big M, little m, or could be big M, big M. How do you work it out? Now listen carefully. In pedigrees, you start at the bottom and you go up. And you fill in everything that you can do. And the things that you can do are always homozygous recessive. Okay, you know for a fact are homozygous recessive. Okay, so it tells you that individual 1 is homozygous normal. So you know that individual 1 is little m, little m. Individual 2 has got the condition, so you know that they've got big M. You don't know whether they've got little m or big M as their second one. But look at their children. So individual 9, individual 10, and individual 11 are all little m, little m. You understand that, guys? They must be little m because they don't have Marfan syndrome. Okay, let me draw this on the board for you. Okay.
What is that line represent?
What, love?
What is the line between the two shapes represent?
Marriage. If it's humans, marriage, because heaven forbid that they do the dirty outside of marriage.
Yeah.
If it is fruit flies, it's not marriage.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's individual 1, that's individual 2. Okay. Within the next generation, we've got a male who's got the condition, married to a female who doesn't, and they have 1 child. a male number 12. I heard that yawn.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. There's a male child who doesn't have it, married to a female who doesn't have it, and he has a male who does, a female who doesn't have it. So that is 5 and that is 6. And there's a female who does have it, married to a male who doesn't have it, and they have 2 children who don't have it. So, okay, somebody intelligent, just read me the things. Okay, I'll do it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm going to clap you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so what you would do, always start at the bottom and work upwards and fill in the things that you can fill in. Okay, and the things that you can fill in for definite are the homozygous recessive. So this is going to be little m, little m, little m, little m, little m, little m, big M,
Something.
big M,
Big M.
big M,
Little L.
little m, because otherwise how are you getting those kids that are little m, little m?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You understand that, guys? Matthew, are you awake?
Yes, ma'am.
You get it. Okay. Little m, little m, little m, little m, little m, little m. Okay, this one must be big M, because this female is little m, and this male is big M. We don't know the other part of that one yet. Okay, oh no, we do.
We do.
From this mother.
Sure.
Okay,
It's too complicated.
I beg your pardon?
It's completely doable. Just
It's
got
not
to put your mind
difficult
to
at all.
it. Yeah.
I can do this with my eyes closed.
Okay, you start at the bottom and you work up. You fill in everything that you can do, which is homozygous recessive. From the homozygous recessives, you can work out what the other ones are. So if this is an individual that is shaded, then you know that they've got the dominant gene. But to get the child that is little m, that allele must be little m. Yep.
Ma'am, will there ever be a situation where you don't know what one of them are? Let's say number 7, we don't know what number 7 was.
So there might be a situation where it could be 2 different options,
Oh, okay.
in which case you have to write both. So we haven't got one of those yet.
So then will you go big M, small m, or
Yeah.
big M, big M?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there will be a mark for both of them.
Oh.
Okay. So just let me see if I've got the rat pedigree here.
This is also a classroom, man.
No. This might be the same as the one. So the one that Mrs. Florenza gave you is reduced from this one. That was mine many years ago. I can't see it here. We did have a matric exam question once which had 2 different options at the bottom. Okay, so if you look at this one, is the condition shown dominant or recessive? Justify your answer by referring to. I've obviously cut some stuff out here. Matthew, go. Dominant or recessive?
Recessive, man, because there's many. English is not my friend today. There are
Okay.
less people.
So remember that the condition is the shaded one.
Yes,
Okay. Dominant or recessive?
recessive.
Because
Less people who show signs of the
fewer.
Fewer, thank you. Who show signs of the condition.
No. Because the allele for blue eyes is recessive to the allele for brown eyes, but if you go to the Scandinavian countries and you look around, everyone's got blue eyes. So then you can't say it's recessive because fewer people have got it. Okay, so you never ever ever say that. You can say it, you're just not going to get a mark. So what you've got to look for is you've got to look for evidence of children that show the condition where neither parent does. Done. Be by. Okay. Neither parent 1 nor 2 shows the condition. But child 1 in the second generation, this is just a slightly different way of doing the pedigree, where they number each of the generations, and in each generation, each child, they start again at 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like Charlie's would. Okay?
You asked me to
Now I know my angel. Okay. So in the second generation, child 1 and child 6 show the condition. Where did they get it from? They must have got it from the 2 parents who don't show the condition. And that tells you these 2 individuals have got a homozygous recessive condition because both of their parents must be heterozygous. Do you understand that? Tubbsy, are you shaking that head?
No, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, now I understand what's going on, man.
Okay. You okay with that, guys?
May you please remember this one more time?
Okay. So if you look at individual, it will drive you insane if there's stuff on there. Okay. So guys, we're looking at that pedigree there. Okay, trying to work out if the condition is dominant or recessive. And the issue is that if parent 1 and 2 and parent 3 and 4 don't show the condition, but each of them have in their children a child that does show the condition. How many children did couple 1 and 2 have?
Couple 1 and 2, they had 2 children. 2 children.
Okay, you happy with that? Do you understand that? Because that child married someone. This is not the child. It's just somebody who married into the family. Okay, the fact that this child has got the condition, whatever the condition is. So let's say the condition is Tay-Sachs. Okay? So, capital N for normal, small n for Tay-Sachs. Okay? So this individual is little n. Each of these parents doesn't show the condition, but how did that child get little n? It must have got a little n from each of those parents. Do you know, and this is a good one, Joshua, do you know this one?
I personally don't know that.
I personally am going to give you a good swift smack.
No, ma'am, I don't know.
Go.
Michelle, that means it's your turn.
Big N, big M.
It's either big N, little n, or big N, big N. Oh, it turns out I think
Okay, do you get that this is one of those ones where it could be either?
Yeah.
And you have to put both, and there will be a mark for putting both.
And the partner that they married? Or having a partner?
Well, you know that for a fact. You don't know. There's no children. No, there are children.
There is.
There are, not there is. Yes, your English is appalling.
What did you do there? They only had one
I
child.
gave them children. Oh.
You get a child.
Yeah, they only had one. Oh, married from the other family.
Yes.
Okay. I had one boy who doesn't have it and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Do you know for a fact that it's big N?
Yes.
You don't know whether it's big N, little n, because from that parent it could have got a little n. You don't know that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So will it also be big N or big N?
It could be either. Okay. Right, so you don't know these ones for a fact. But you do know that, you do know that, you do know that. And these two parents are going to be the same because of individual number 8 who's little n. So each of these parents must have been like that. Okay. And this child, you don't know for a fact. And the person that they married, you also don't know for a fact, etc. Only thing you know in these individuals is they've each got one big N. But you don't know whether the other one is a little n. And because they had so few children, this couple only had one child, that couple only had one child, there's no statistical definite answer. But so if you look at the child here, okay, you've got one child. You say 100% of their children don't have the condition. So they must be homozygous big N. They only had one child. It's not a big enough sample to be able to say 100% of their children. Okay, do you understand that? You can't conclusively say that.
I understand what you did there.
Yes.
But then you started with the first child in the second generation, right? And you said that was little n. When the question is asking which one is dominant or recessive, so what if you said that it was dominant, and then you said big N and something?
It can't be dominant. So it says the condition.
Yeah.
And by convention, the condition is the shaded thing.
Yeah.
It can't be dominant. Because if it was dominant, one of the two parents must have had the allele for it.
Okay.
And therefore, they would have, if it was dominant, then one of the two parents would have been shaded. So the fact that neither parent is shaded, so neither parent shows the condition, but that the child does show the condition. And it's not just a chance mutation, because here's another family that's got exactly the same condition. And they know each other so well that they're actually marrying off their children. So within that community, having two chance mutations occurring is like zip chance. Okay. And so the fact that, so it's what I said to you, you work from what you know for a fact. You look for something that's got a condition when neither of the parents has it. And from there you can work out whether the condition is dominant or recessive. So because this individual has got the condition and neither of the parents has the condition, it tells you that the condition is recessive.
Okay.
So it's like two brown-eyed people having a blue-eyed child. That tells you that each of those parents is heterozygous brown-eyed and that the blue eyes allele is recessive.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So guys, what I need you to do is to take that big sheet and fill in, that big sheet is going to become your summary for genetics. Carmen, Charlize has got one for you. Tino and Sasha, I'm not sure how we're going to get you one. You do. Sash, Trish is going to take one for you. Trish. Trish? Tino, it's on an A3 sheet. What we'll try and do is cut it into two for you and send it, put it on thingamybob, and then we'll have to do this two A4 sheets and stick it together. Is that okay? I'm presuming it's Tino. Is it? No, it's Tamlin. Oh, Tam! Hello, my angel. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So you see you. Be good. Bye. Pleasure. Bye.
Wait, ma'am, are we done? What?
End of third session.
Three.
End of session 3 of 23rd of June.
Grade 12.
Grade 12, choice 2. Yeah.